Welcome to Kyle Army. In this week's GT3 long race, I've chosen to go with the medium tyres because the tyre profile has changed and now we're on 4 times tyre wear, not the usual 6. I presume medium tyres should do half of the race and then another set would do the other half. Fingers crossed it works out, I guess, and certainly not like the last race. Coming down here, going to be braking into this corner now, going up behind the Aston Martin up in front, and managing actually to get around all of that chaos. Ferrari to my left hand side squeezing me, a little bit of contact has been made, and another car's gone off track. G920 up in front. I do believe that Ferrari is pretty quick, does look good and sound good. I'm going to keep my foot to the floorboard and see if I can try at least catch up. I'm also trying to defend from the car behind as I go around this corner, get in the inside line, and then I get clouted by the Ferrari because there wasn't enough road around us for them to have their own little bit of space. Getting a bit more contact with the car behind me. I think there may well be a little bit of funkiness going on here. It's unusual to get clouted by 2 cars in one sitting, so I wonder if I got rear-ended. Maybe I am having a sketchy moment compared to everybody else. Although I look like I'm having the most fun of my life, everybody else might be seeing me bouncing around a little bit. You never know, so you can't always presume that incidences are on purpose. The Ferrari is, though, because he's in a Ferrari and it's yellow. Coming around this corner now, and a couple of cars off track, so that's going to be a couple of penalties. Good race from the Audi on my right hand side. It really is when I manage to get 2 places in one corner. Thanking you very, very much. Breaking down into this corner now, wanted to make a move on the Lamborghini up in front. Rock Dud 3 1991 right there. Not going to be the fastest down the straight though, because I have a lot of downforce on this car, but I do get to make moves like that, which I think was really sweet. And I think that is well worth hitting that like button down below, because that move was just stunning. Coming around this corner now, a little bit of tail out happiness happening. Coming now, accelerating away. Rock Dud 3 1991 is behind with a 0.8 second penalty. Looking to make a move, ultimately backs out. And I managed to hold on to this corner. I think he backed out a little bit too much because he's been pushed wide off the track, and the cars, it just seems to be everywhere in the rearview mirror right now. Everybody is certainly having their own little moments. Now the pressure is back on. Gil 4443 behind is a very quick driver, is sniffing all over me, and I'm going to struggle to keep my pace. I'm going to have the inside line here. It's braking just before the curb starts, holding that in the corner, forcing them to back out. No switcheroo happening here. Accelerating out of the other side. Down the hill we go, and look at this beautiful track. I think it looks great. Moving ahead though to lap 3. Coming round this bottom corner now, catching up to the cars up in front, which is Drive a Bowie. And I sort of make a little bit of a boo-boo here, and I go off track. I should have braked a little bit more for that corner. Do you know, I expected this car to actually turn a lot better, and I turned in and I thought, wow, this is not good. And it was that not good that I went in and built my own little gravel castle. It was spectacular. Sadly though, I did not have a camera on me at the time, so I wasn't able to take a photo. So you're just going to have to take my word on it. Best gravel castle you'll have ever seen. Coming around this corner now, clipping the curb on the left hand side, accelerating out of this corner, trying to catch up a bit of space, position 5. As you can see, I am 1.6 seconds away from them at the moment. Also in my rear view, I have Psychic Booch 230 that is able to also try and reel me in. So I've also got to keep that in mind and go around this track in one piece and not fall off again. That is really a crucial part of racing, you know. You've got to try and at least stay on the tarmac, and if you spend more time rallying, you're certainly not doing yourself any justice. Going around this corner now, clip that curb on the left, onto the curb on the right, start accelerating out of the corner and up the hill we go. Front tyres are getting hot up, but moving on to a lap 5, we do catch up to this Mercedes up in front, Drive Bowie. It's nice to see you again, my friend. Now we just need to try and make a move and Drive Bowie, because Gil has managed to take that position and I don't want to be held up too long. Braking at the 100-meter board, down to second gear, turning in. Drive Bowie goes over the curb, but sadly I'm going to go make a move on the inside, and the door was closed at the same time I was making that move, and I just didn't react quick enough onto the brake. So I went gardening and I brought some lovely flowers, and thankfully no penalty. Coming out of this corner, a bit of tail out happiness, getting on the power just a little bit too early, thus sacrificing a good run down this straight. Luckily enough though, or hopefully, this car will be quicker in the corners than it is on the straight. So looking at the 100-meter board, braking down to second gear, rub that curb on the left, get onto that power, and over the curb on the right hand side, up the hill we go. Closing that door a little bit, braking just as the triangle starts on the left hand side, so accelerating out of this corner. And they did actually get a better run out of this corner than I did. That is a shame right there. Next corner we're going to have it. Reel them back in. Just a touch of the brakes down the third gear, coming around here, rubbing that curb and start accelerating out to the outer curb. Be mindful of the sand on that outer curb, it can upset the car. Another car has gone gravel castle building. Thankfully that is another place gained without having to do much work. Over the curbs we go, left, right, accelerating out the other side. Hopefully Drive Bowie goes to the right side. I can sniff up the middle here. Come on, squeeze into that gap. Braking just before the curb starts, down in second gear. Coming in a little bit too hot, should have applied a bit more brake. And they did the old switcheroo me. No problem, I'm going to have hopefully a good run down here. I just need a little bit more power. The closing that door, contact has been made. As we rub bumpers, braking down the second gear here and taking up the inside. Thankfully, they came in a little bit hotter than I did, and I managed to take that position away. We are now down to position 4. We started off in position 16, and by the end of lap 6 we're down to position 4. I think that's incredible, guys. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Have I been lucky? Certainly turn 1 was very lucky, but coming out of the pits on the other side of lap 9, because I wanted to have a better stretch on these medium tyres at the first half, I extended it a little bit longer, so the second half of this race I won't be as sacrificed. But I did come out into a pack of cars, which is never the best way of doing things. Round this corner, going accelerating out the other side, we are stuck behind, however you pronounce position 5. I am not even going to attempt that one. But they are in a Lamborghini. I'm going to try and reel them back in. They haven't pitted yet, so they are either on hard tyres or desperately broken medium tyres. So, yeah, I would say they're on hard tyres, because they're not struggling, if you understand what I mean. They seem to be having good control of the car, so I'm going to try and make a move up the inside here. Up the hill we go. I don't know if I got the pace on them, but they are being a bit twitchy. I don't know what's going on. They're all over the place. What do I do? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go up the inside of them and just send it, because someone's going to lose out, and I'm certainly not surrendering the position, because that car doesn't know where it wants to be today. There we go. Look at that. We managed to get ourselves back into position 5. Hard braking down the second gear here and trying to catch up to Snake. Pit 6366. I presume, if you're watching this video, let me know if I'm incorrect, but that might be a Metal Gear Solid reference. Anyway, braking at the 50-meter board, down to second gear. They've gone into the pits before and behind. Who else has gone into the pits right now? We are starting lap 10. Gilly 4443 has just come out of the pits. Their last lap must have been quite dreadful, but thankfully we've managed to catch them back up and really close that gap. Knowing they've extended the tyres by one more lap, they're going to have a better last lap than I am, so I do have to bear that in mind, and I need to try my best to get past them or pressure them enough to make a mistake. That's the idea now. We are on lap 10, 7 more laps to go. Come around this corner, they are 0.9 seconds away. Clicking onto that, I think that car may have a little bit better handling than me. That is the Acura NSX, I believe. Yes, it is. In the Red Bull livery. We usually do have to be mindful of the livery. That does count to 10%, 15% of the incidents that are in many races. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Could the percentage be higher or lower? Usually Red Bull livery is never a good sign. Breaking into this corner now, around second gear, and so out the other side, 0.5 seconds away now. Hopefully we close that door a little bit more and really start clawing them in and adding a bit more of that pressure. Braking at the 100-meter board, down to second gear and turning in. Still 0.5, 0.4 now. Could have gotten the power just a touch earlier. 0.3. As soon as you see the curb on the right side, over this curb here, accelerating out to the side. Thankfully I didn't go into the gravel pit again. Braking at the 50-meter board and over the curb, go accelerating out to the side. Now this is where I'm going to lose time because the slipstream in this game has changed a little bit. It's not as overpowering as it once was. As you can see, they are trying to break that toe. I'm just going to casually float behind them. Braking at the 100-meter board, down to second gear and turning in. Over the curb we go, get really close up behind them now. Accelerating around this corner, over the curb again. I'm really trying to make a name here, trying to get us close, get into their mind and push them a little bit beyond their limits. They are holding me very, very well, so credit where credit is due. Bearing in mind though, I duck is also closing that door behind us and also has a 5.3 second penalty, which is something you should worry about because that is quite a large penalty. So contact has been made somewhere, unless they really cut a track. I'm not too sure. If you do see this video, buddy, let me know down in the comments below. But while we are chasing down Gilly 4443 up in front and trying to make a move on the inside, and I just was too far away, I'd like to take a moment out to thank our channel members, which are Andy Good, Jeffrey Anderson, DMC Motorsport Sigmatic, Daniel Adams, John Burns, AK47. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel, and if you are enjoying what you're seeing here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Coming around this corner now in second gear, really closing that door to the car up in front, 0.3 seconds away, keeping close enough to make them sweat a little bit. As you can see, they are pushing that car, braking at the 50-meter marker, down to second gear here, over the curb we go. Again, they're going to be a little bit quicker than me out of here, but hopefully I am close enough to keep up a good bit of momentum. They are eking away by the looks of it. Still 0.2 seconds away, clipping on to 0.3, braking at 100-meter board, down to second gear, turning in, and there we go, out the other side, getting real close to them, having a little bit of tail out happiness, and up the hill we go. Coming around this corner now and make the ultimate mistake and touch the curb with the sand on it, and it absolutely sends me off track. I accelerate out to try and get myself back onto the tarmac, and the lack of grip on the painted surface destroys me. I reckon I've lost a good 10 seconds there, maybe 8 seconds. Absolutely brutal. I couldn't believe it. Oh dear, cannot believe it. Okay, well, pick up your shoes. It will be a struggle to try and catch them up within 5 laps. I've got to at least find 2 seconds a lap, and I don't think that's going to happen. They do seem to be a little bit quicker than me, but we are on lap 13 now, and we are losing a bit of time to iDuck up in front, and now 5.7 seconds away. So we lost a second to them in total, but they also managed to extend their penalty to 6.10 seconds. No idea though, besides looking at the map, I think they are catching up to Gilly up in front, which might be a good sign. Might add the pressure onto Gilly, and hopefully that is the case as I really cut that corner and come round the other side, braking at the 50-meter board, turning in, and just Ascend It is in the pits. Okay, so passing that person, iPack and Duck is still 5.7 seconds away. We are now 1 position away from podium. And hopefully, if I can keep within the 6.60 second penalty region, that means I'll have the podium position. But I have lost a second to them over a lap, which is a huge amount of time to lose in overall, and I have 3 more laps to go here. We are beating our best lap time though. Can't really grumble at that. It's funny because we are pulling away and catching up to the car up in front. Thankfully though, we are good 8 seconds away from expected light behind us, which does give us a good bit of breathing stale area, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Coming around these corners now is a shame because they're just there in the distance. Just there. A stone throw away if you've got a really good arm. I can't believe it. Oh dear. It's so easily done to make that mistake, especially on that curb there where I went off. That curb is so funky and you just have to touch it with your wheel and it will just send you to oblivion. And I've just noticed my tyre wear. Oh dear. They are quite worn. Considering I've got another 3 more laps to go, they're certainly going to be going on to minor wear very soon. We are now 6.1 seconds away from iPeckin iDuck up in front, which means we're about 7 seconds away from Gilly. Oh, iPeckin iDuck is in the pits. Okay. Anybody else in the pits? There is another car in there at the moment. That's 2 cars. And we've only gained 1 position, so the second car must be behind us, and we've lapped them. Okay, so we're on the podium. And expected light is minus 7.4 seconds away, which is good news. Gilly is 8 seconds away, so my guesstimate of being 1 second ahead of iPeckin iDuck is about right. We are, though, 20 seconds away from position 1, which is, for over a 30-minute race, it's a second a lap, less than a second a lap, which is actually not too bad if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Let's say there were 8 tenths a lap quicker than well, it would be 8 tenths a lap quicker than myself, for example. That's not exorbitant amount of time, really, but we have to check the lap times overall, who had the best laps and etc. like that, because don't forget, I started off in position 16. I've had to work my way through. Anyway, trying to make myself look better than what I already am not. Braking at the curve starting on the left hand side, down the second gear, turning in, accelerating out the other side, 9.2 seconds away from Gilly up in front. This is where their tyre wear is now benefiting them, and I am already clicked on to 1 tyre is on minor wear. I have 2 more laps to go. 2 tyres are on minor wear as I'm scrubbing the living life. Oh nope, all 4 of them. Oh well, I know. 2 laps to go. This is going to be very interesting because obviously as the tyres wear, the less grip you have, the more you slip. The more you slip, the more it increases tyre wear. So now comes the domino effect. Setting down here now, we're 9.7 seconds away from position 2. Thankfully though, expected light is 6.2 seconds away, and I've got to make sure I keep them that far away as we have 2 laps to go. Come around this corner now, second gear up the hill, rubbing that curb on the right hand side, getting close to the curb on the left hand side, braking as a triangle starts, down the second gear over the curb here, turning out the other side. You can use that curb a little bit, just be mindful it can be a bit slippy if it wants to be. It's not all the time, it's just literally when it wants to be. It's just funky. I think this track needs a little bit of looking at in places here and there where sometimes unnecessary funkiness happens, if you understand what I mean. Coming around this corner now, second gear, accelerating out the other side, and then coming up here, just touching the brakes, rub that curb on the left, onto the curb on the right hand side, accelerating out of this corner and up the hill we go. Coming up the hill, want to start braking just as you get to the brow of the hill, down the second gear, turning in, and accelerating out the other side. 6.1 seconds away behind, 10.5 seconds away to the car up in front. Accelerating down this hill, cutting this corner here onto the curb, braking at the 100-meter markers, down to second gear, turning in, clip that curb on the right hand side. As soon as you clip the curb, start applying the power gently and come to the outer part of the track. Chasing the curb on the left hand side, touching the brakes over this corner, and it sounds crunchy, but thankfully there's no damage on this game. Breaking down the second gear here and accelerating out the other side. Yeah, that crunch does sound very destructive, but again, there's no damage, so we don't have to worry too much. And anyway, it's a rental, you know, we just fill out the forms later on. Coming down the hill, whilst I'm looking at the leaderboard, getting totally distracted. Breaking a 100-meter board, down to second gear here. One of my tyres are on moderate wear. Two of my tyres are on moderate wear, so the rear ones are really not going to be too far behind. We have 1 lap to go. There we go, they've both clicked onto moderate wear. Okay. So is the best strategy now, because the tyre wear has changes, is just 2 medium tyres? Because going to hard tyres, you're going to have to pit and then go into soft for the latter stint. But a track like this, would you benefit having the last 3, maybe 4 laps on soft tyres? Is that enough to claw back the time you've lost by being about a second slower every time on hard tyres? It really is the question to ask. I know other cars are trying hard to soft tyres. I've done them the boring medium to medium, and I certainly wouldn't do soft, because I think really the time you're losing the pitting there, which seriously you would never get that back by doing soft tyres. Because what, every 4 laps you got to sacrifice 40 seconds to pitting. You're not making you're not 10 seconds a lap faster than anybody else, so you've really lost out there. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Final corner, cutting that corner, just really having no grip in this car. Thankfully it didn't go off into the dirt. Did see the castle to my left that I built earlier, still standing, looks good. Coming around the other side and across the finish line, 15 seconds away from position 2 on the podium though. Position 16 to position 3, sorry. Gained 13 places overall. Our best time is a 1:46.208, so we are 4 tenths off the position 1 person and 3 tenths off, there we are, Acura NSX Gilly up in front, which I think is astounding. And 1:46.176 on the Audi behind, so we're 1 tenth slower to the Audi that was behind us as well. I think overall that is quite a comfortable lap time. Oh, that Porsche IPEC and I ducted a 1:45.328, but I do believe they are running 3 sets of soft tyres, which is why they were so quick, and they've pitted twice, so I do think they were running the soft tyre compound. But yeah, thank you all for watching, see you all next time, goodbye.